Hi everyone, my name is Lori Waltier. I'm the Vice President Communications and Culture with the Puyallup Chamber of Commerce. And rounding out our Black History Month series, we have a few special guests today to talk about the wonderful celebration we had, Puyallup's first ever Black History celebration over the weekend. So I'm going to let each of my guests introduce themselves and tell us all about the event, which was wonderful, by the way. All right, JMarie.
So I'm JMarie Johnson-Kola, and I am one of the creators of the event. And thank you, Lori, for being there. Your presence was made it even more special. And what we want to do today is kind of debrief how it went and celebrate the achievement that it was, the history-making achievement that it was. And I'll just start off by reintroducing the fact that how it began was 5 members of the community just got together, and we thought about how can we put together a foundation that is simply about the well-being of our neighbors. And the Puyallup Community Foundation was born. And my brother Bill Bowers and Hans Zeiger and Curtis Thiel and Robert Kalin and I all got together, and we began meeting with leaders. And we just wanted to know each other's story. And once we talked about the story, we ventured then into what's great about where we live. How can we make it better for all of us? And from there, we thought, my part, because I'm a PhD student looking into transformative social change, I know that is so critical to make sure every part of the community is in place and contributing the gifts that they have to make us all well. And so we started with Black History Month. February, it's coming, it's here, we're going to do it. And so we did. And our goal is to celebrate every culture and get us to where, 100% of the beloved communities coming together and celebrating each other. So the Black History celebration was amazing. And thanks to the Chamber for their partnership and our other sponsors. As you can see on the screen back there, it was amazing, amazing. So that's all I'm going to say, because you need to hear from these lovely people.
My name is Debbie Yoder, and I am an event coordinator as well as a walkthrough experience coordinator. And I was introduced to JMarie through a friend who had told me her vision. JMarie had shared her vision with me, and I was so interested. One, from the positivity of the whole thing. It's a celebration and a way to connect, and I was so all about that I wanted to join in. And I just wanted to make it big and grand and memorable, even on the first try. So we just took the vision and ran with it and worked with it, and I sewed until forever, 171 boxes and covers and banners and streamers, but all a joy in knowing what it was for.
Yeah, so I'm David Rhodes, pastor at Puyallup Nazarene Church, and so we got to host the event. So we provided the site, and we were very pleased to do that. I think the significant part of that is that it gave us an opportunity to just give like a broader permission in a way to declare that that Black History matters, that there is contribution, and that we want to be a player in the whole reconciliation and the advancement, right, of the unity within the Puyallup, greater Puyallup region. And so it was just a privilege to do that. I have to give a shout out to the people behind the scenes. I gave the permission, but there were a lot of people at our own church community that did the work of the preparation. And so hats off to them. And they were the real workers behind all this. So.
It was amazing. I think we were all blown away by the comments that we heard from beginning to end. People saying, really celebrating, really being blown away by the information that they learned about their neighbors, about being privileged to be in community with the folk there. It being visually stunning, and like you said, the connections, the communications that were made, and folk truly asking what's next, how can we continue. And so the future is bright for continued community engagement together.
Yeah. So 100%.
So I would just like to, give a shout out to the quality of the event, because both in what was conceptualized and then created for the visual aspect of it, but also just the quality of the presentations and all. Because I really think that when you're doing something like this, so worthy, like of attention, or of in many cases just even of remembrance that something actually had happened in Puyallup, in terms of the contributions of the Black community, and so that was so quality, and that there was not a moment that you felt as if the mark was missed. Not at all. At least from my perspective, it was elevating to a proper place the contributions of people who had settled here and have brought so much richness. In fact, I said in one event where we're kind of the first vignette where a story was told of those who had kind of been the pioneers or the groundbreakers, trailblazers, I think, right?
Yes.
Trailblazers that were used in Puyallup. And then, and I just noted this first Black doctor in Puyallup, Dr. Moses. But when we left, a person in my office says, "Oh yeah, he was my pediatrician when I was a child," and so all these connections just began to happen. So it was really cool.
So excellent! Wow. I think the goals that we set for this event of connecting and celebrating and being educated and really championing each other, I think it was met. Don't you think?
I do. For those of you who didn't get to come, I just want to explain what happened a little there. As you came to the event, you got to experience some music and dancing, and then you were led through 3 vignettes, one of them being the past trailblazers, recent trailblazers, and basically saying you are a trailblazer, you're making history today, and somewhat committing to that, and memorializing, thank you, memorializing that. The second vignette was a military officer that just shared some incredible stories. The third was an interview of elders in the Puyallup area and some of their stories, where they have been and where they would like to go. And then finally you were taken downstairs to a huge space of vendors selling their goods, music, food, painting, people painting, stories from students, and the whole idea was for you to learn with all of your senses why you connect with others. And what was experienced was really a connection between the white community or Asian community and the Black community. Everyone was intermingling and talking and connecting. It was absolutely beautiful.
Wonderful. I think we also should note generationally, there were so many older folk who'd been in Puyallup 40, 50 years, and there were babies, and each age in between, and all of them. I mean, I have a 15-year-old son, and they were all saying how they didn't know, and the information that they got was so valuable to them. There were homeschooling parents who said, "We didn't know, but we're going to do a field trip to the Buffalo Soldier Museum so we can begin to get more." And so the parts that we played were magnificent on the education piece, on the celebrating piece, on the building community piece. That's really what it was about. Building community, seeing each other, appreciating and loving each other.
That's right.
There was a lot of hugging and a lot of laughing, and it was dancing. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I give a shout out to the young men who were the kind of the tour guides. I was really impressed with them. Some had come over, they're from the area, but they came over from school at Central Washington or other places, and kind of back home to participate in this, and just giving the tour and just seeing their delight in it and their welcoming. It was really well organized from that. I liked from this moment you walked in, there was a sense that, first of all, nothing was going to just be kind of random, although some really surprising and creative things would happen. It was organized in a sense that your time was not going to be wasted, but then you would be blown away by the fact how it wasn't wasted, how the information that was imparted to you, the experience, the visuals, And also, I think it just draws you in emotionally to the whole story, because there were a lot of, whoa, I did not know that moments, right? And I don't think there's ever been, from what I understand, really a history written about, blacks in the Puyallup region and the contribution. So if no one writes a history, then no one will know. But since history, and it really matters who writes history, right? So, but if history is written, and this is a contribution to that, I think in a big way, then I think there's much to build on from this event.
So rich. I do want to make sure I talk about the historical partnerships and collaborations that went on with this this celebration. The school district was phenomenal. Walker High School, Puyallup High School, Emerald High School, Emerald Ridge High School, those were the students that you saw who were the muralists and the guides and the greeters. The city of Puyallup, the council members were there. The mayor couldn't be there, but he was there in spirit. The fair. This is a lady who's shown her work at the fair, and we talked with Kent over there. The mall. The melanated market was part of the mall's offerings. Just so many in our community partnered with us, along with the actual neighbors. It was just historical in many ways.
I also just really thankful for the other churches in our area that were on board, and particularly I'm close to my friend Ronell McGraw, who pastors Praise Chapel Church,
who was a
in
trailblazer.
downtown,
He and his dad, right?
He and his dad. In fact, when I first moved to the city in the year 2000, his dad and I got together weekly, and then he, in an untimely way, passed away of cancer, and it was passed on to his son. But in the recent months, like 2 or 3 years, all that has been restirred up in really a vital way. So there's a real partnership happening. I just really think that partnerships coming out of this could be some of the good fruit of it. Like together we kind of lean to the middle and try to figure out how to be really even a better place, right, for all.
So thank you, Chamber, for your partnership, your sponsorship. We appreciate that.
Well, we are honored. I'm going to step back in the frame for a moment. We are honored that we were able to be a part of it and help promote the event. And certainly, I was honored to be there. I thought it was a great event. And I am going to ask one more question before we leave. I want to know what's next. Where are we going to do this again next year? What's
mental vacation first.
Vacation, physical too.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, people walked out of there asking that very same question.
Good.
And they didn't just say, when are we going to do it?
Yeah.
What's next? They said, and we want to help.
Yeah.
That.
I love it.
Yes,
That's amazing.
That is a celebration right there. So,
Yeah.
yes, we'll do it. Let us rest.
Right. Can I talk about really quick a personal
Please do.
Experience I had that I think would be a what next as well. To me personally, is that I had experienced my daughter when she went, who didn't know what to expect, after going through those vignettes and experiencing the dancing and music part of it. She went around to every 19 vendors on her own and just wanted to relate to them. And I really believe she wasn't saying, I can't see your skin. She was saying, I see you, and I am so interested in you. And it was the most beautiful thing I think I've experienced in my life. And so what's next for me is realizing that I am a 60-year-old white lady that has something to offer to make way for our next generation, who I believe are so primed and ready to make this world a better place.
Yes.
And so there is something that even a white person can do in a black community just by respecting, loving, seeing, hearing, and helping people feel heard. Because it's something that has been so long needed. And especially right now in a world that I believe really needs relationship in general. It's a great place to build relationships and so rewarding.
Yeah, I would agree with that. JMarie started out with just talking about the connections you had at the very inception of this, but how you guys begin to tell stories and relate, tell your own story, right?
Yes.
And so I think there were the formal things that were storytelling, but whatever venues can be created, or an environment can be created for people, like happened down on the floor with the 19 vendors and all. If people linger and actually are bold enough to say, tell me something of your story, then those informal, more organic things can go a long ways. Yeah. I would like to say one thing though. On the Friday night event with Dr.
Castile and the Department of Health,
right,
we covered mental health in the Black community and COVID health in the Black community.
Yeah. So there's some interesting discussion that came in that. I'd always heard, and I do believe that things change at the speed of relationships, but it was added onto that. I thought it was really interesting by one of my Black brothers who was there, great Kim noted some things, and he made a comment that, and I think there's material written on this, but things move at the speed of trust. And so that, I think, is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
To build trust within the community, and that will go a long ways in helping us shape more successful things.
I love that. That was Mr. Lyle Qasim, who is all over this state doing amazing things for the Black community and all our communities. So that just also tells you, and he's a Puyallup native, so or a resident. So that just tells you the level of and quality of people that have been involved. And so these three, and this one as well. Wonderful. Thank you.
Any other final parting words? I love how we ended on the theme of trust and relationship building, and again, I was blown away. Congratulations to you and everyone else who helped put this event together, because I know it takes many. And thank you so much, and we look forward to doing this again next year. And final shout out to JMarie. Thank you for helping us with our Black History Month series.
It's been phenomenal
here at the Chamber.
Thank you, Chamber.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.